Hey class, welcome back to another math review video for Managerial Economics. So today we're going to be talking about the inverse demand curve question, where you actually download an Excel spreadsheet and you put your answers. You can use the Excel spreadsheet for the answers, but honestly, I really just want you guys to understand what's going on here. So if you submit the answers, if you do it by hand and then submit the answers, I'll give you full credit, okay? So we're told the demand intercept and the slope and a particular price, right? And then we're asked about getting the inverse demand curve. So before we can get an inverse demand curve, we need to get a regular demand curve, right? And so the regular demand curve is where we have quantity as a function of price, right? Because we know that, think about when you go to the store. If something's more expensive, you're not going to buy it. If something's really cheap, you're going to buy it, right? So we know that the decisions in terms of quantity that we purchase or quantity that we supply if we're a producer are based upon the prices, right? Now we're just talking about the demand here, but in both cases, prices are the driving force. Prices are the main signal in economics. And so the demand curve, the regular demand curve, is going to be where the quantity is a function of the price. And so we're going to have it be 500, that's our intercept there, minus 4 times whatever the price is. All right, now we're told that the price is $50, but honestly, we really don't need to know that information. So this is our regular demand curve, 500 minus 4p. We can get rid of the whole q as a function of p. I just put it here for thoroughness, and we can just have it be q right here just so that we don't misinterpret this as q times p, which is not at all what this is. This right here is more akin to, f of x, right? So a function of x. This quantity is a function of the price. So in order to get our inverse demand curve, well, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be solving for our price. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to subtract 500 from both sides. So we're going to end up with q minus 500 is equal to negative 4p. And then we're going to divide everything by negative 4. So now this is where it gets a little tricky for some students, because when you divide two things by one number, that's going to end up being the individual quotient of those two things, right? You might remember doing something like this, depending on when you learned math or where you learned math, right? But this is just a mathematical identity that we're going to need to know, okay? And so for our circumstances here, we end up with what? Negative 1/4 q, and then negative divided by a negative is a positive, right? What's 500 divided by 4? 125. So all of this equals Rp. And so now we're in inverse demand curve territory, right? And so I know a lot of you are wondering, well, why do we actually do this? Well, in economics, for whatever reason, we have the quantity on the y-axis, right? And so in order to plot a demand curve, we need to have this in slope-intercept form, right? Slope-intercept. But we need to have it in slope-intercept form with p as the single variable that's isolated on one side of the equal sign. And so now that we have that, now we can go ahead and we can, plot it. It's 125. That's our slope right here. That's our intercept right here. That's our y-intercept is 125. And then our slope is going to be that negative 1/4 or negative 0.2. And so what is this slope telling me? This slope is telling me that for every one fall, because it's negative, it's not a rise, we end up with a run that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this slope is telling me that I've got a very shallow curve here. So this is price is equal to negative 0.2 q plus 125. And then we can tell here that this is 4, this is 1. So the m is equal to the rise, negative 1 over run, which is 4. And so it's equal to negative 1/4 or negative 0.2. All right, I think that should cover it all. I will double check exactly what the book is looking for in terms of the Excel spreadsheet. But if you can go ahead and just do it manually, I would highly suggest just doing it manually. Really, this is just meant to be reviewed, just to kind of dust off those cobwebs in terms of your math brain, so that we are all set to get into some more fun and complicated and conceptually challenging stuff later on in the 8 weeks. All right, thank you so much for watching, and if you need more guidance or help, please don't hesitate to put a comment down below, email me, contact me, however you can. All right, thanks so much. Have a great day.